airborne antivirus. It'll destroy anything infected with the T-virus on contact.
Who told you this?
The Red Queen.
You get to delve much more into the original locations and the original story and go behind all the questions that the first movie kind of gave.
You must have wondered why you remember nothing of your childhood.
It's a very, very good script, and he's incorporated all the stories into this one final story, which makes sense of why the whole nightmare began.
The idea is that the Umbrella Corporation are kind of moving around these vast armies of undead to wipe out the last of the human survivors. And they do it from the safety of these large armored vehicles, and then they throw out a piece of bait, and the zombies chase the bait. So it's very cruel, very brutal.
The concept of that transporter sequence where Alice gets dragged by this huge tank is just so disturbing. Umbrella are using people as bait for these zombie armies. It's just mind-blowing. It's almost like the concept meets the action and the reality, and both complement each other, and it kind of becomes a very interesting movie to watch on so many different levels.
I feel more involved in this one. You know, it's a more complete role, so I've been more witness to the extraordinary visual effects in this one. Every trick in the book seems to be being used. And physical requirements of the role are enormous. Doing this fight sequence on moving platforms, we've got to learn and execute so many different fights and so many different skills. There is so much coverage from so many different angles, so many complicated sequences that really need to be kind of master planned and storyboarded. To be honest, I have no idea how he manages to keep it all in his head. It's beyond me.
The action and the scale and the imagery that we've put on screen here, it's the biggest in the franchise. We combine that scale with a level of emotion and sophistication that we've never had in the franchise before. The fact that, you know, Mila knows it's the end for Alice, and she really plays that. There's some very emotional scenes in the film where I tear up, you know, at the end where she's going to drop the antivirus, and you know it's the end for her. She's committing suicide, essentially. I find that very affecting. And then also when she discovers that she's not a real person, that she's an artificial construct that was created by the people that she hates. The people she's been fighting all this time are actually her makers.
I made you.
Yeah.
You know, she meets her maker and she doesn't like what she sees. That, again, is very emotional, but also quite sophisticated, I think, in terms of storytelling. I've been waiting a long time to wrap things up and tell the audience the truth of who the Alice character is. I think it's gonna really blow people's minds. And I think once you know the truth, you can watch the franchise again and get a whole new level of enjoyment out of it.